Hey guys, this is Renee, and today we're going to learn how to create a WordPress pop-up with Thrive leads. This is going to be quick and easy, but here's the things you're going to need. A self-hosted WordPress blog, an email software client such as MailChimp, Thrive leads installed on this blog, and you're also going to need to have already connected your email software to Thrive. If you haven't done that, no worries. I have a tutorial for you. I'll put a link to that down below. All right, so let's get down to it, shall we? And so the first thing you're going to do is log into your WordPress blog. As you can see, we're here in the dashboard. All right, then you scroll down to Thrive dashboards and click on that. Then you can see this is the Thrive dashboards. I have Content Builder, Thrive Leads, a lot of things going on here, but just click on Thrive Leads dashboard. By the way, you don't need Thrive Content Builder or a Thrive theme for this to work. You could have just purchased Thrive leads. All right, so what you're going to want to do next is create a new lead group. Unless you already have one existing and you're trying to figure out how to create this, then just hold on just a moment. So I'm going to create a brand new lead group, add new. I'm going to call this example pop up. Okay, so add lead group. Now, let me say this. If you are giving away a content upgrade with this, or you're creating this pop-up to target a specific blog post or blog category, you may want to name this smartly. I named this email pop-up. When I first started using Thrive on some of my other blogs, I was just like, number 1, number 2, number 3, became a huge mess because I wasn't smart naming, and I quickly got confused on what the heck was what. So I quickly figured out the importance of smart naming. If you have already named it and you realize that, oh my gosh, I did that too, just click on this little pencil right here and you can rename it. All right, awesome. So now you come over here and you click on this view details. We are creating a Lightbox, which is the same thing as a pop-up. They call it a Lightbox, I call it a pop-up, whatever you would like to call it. All right, so now in that column, I'm just going to click on Add. We have to create the form. I call this Example Pop Up, Create Form. Now right here, immediately you have a few options. You can rename that, by the way, nice little note. You can change the trigger options, which means right now it's set to display immediately on the page, but they have other choices of how it can be fancy or whatever you would like. We get into that in a different video. Display frequency. How often do you want someone who visits your site to see this pop-up? Every 7 days is their default. I think that's a pretty good default, but that's completely up to you. Animation, there are so many choices here. You can get into all kinds of things. We're just going to leave it at zoom in. We'll just make it simple and easy. So then you just click on Edit Design. This is where it gets fun. And by the way, I will say this is where it gets fun, and this is where you can also spend entirely too much time. So really use the ones that they've already created as a guide. They're the experts on this. So I really tend to go with what they have and to just customize it slightly, but I'll do a little bit of customization just to show you how easy it is. All right, so as you can see, let me scroll through here pretty slowly for you. There's a lot of template choices. Do note that you can change just about everything on these templates. They're just your starting point, so keep that in mind. Let's scroll through and let's just pick one. I really love this one right here. I tend to use this as much as I possibly can, but it's a little tall. You notice how it's taller than the others. So if you're wanting something that just kind of sits nicely, maybe doesn't disrupt too much space, you could just choose something like, I don't know, we'll go with this one right here. Okay, Lightbox set 22. Once you've picked it, by the way, you just select it and you notice it's got the little check mark, and then you choose template. All right, so there it is. It's beautiful, but let's just say, for example, that the dark blue doesn't really mesh with my design. No problem. All you do is you hover your mouse over that dark blue, left mouse button click, and look at that little pop-up right there. And there's the palette. You just select on that, and you can start changing the colors. You could change it to green, to orange, all kinds of things. So also, let me show you this, by the way. If you're trying to look at this, you're like, well, I can't see it too good. You can drag this down out of your way. That's so incredibly handy to me. All right, so there you just click on this, click on that, and then let's move this down a little bit more. Click on that background, and I can start dragging this wherever I want till I get a color that I like. And if you know the color number, like if you have your color palette, which is a great idea by the way, you can do that. Now I have a favorite color set, which is part of my color palette of my logo. How you set a color palette, by the way, just as a quick aside, let's say that you find a color that you like, you save as a favorite color, and then there it is. So I like that green, it's pretty, let's go with it. So you say okay, just click anywhere to get out of that. And now I'm going to go ahead and leave their image. I think it's nice. Subscribe to our newsletter, that's perfect, but this is gibberish text. So I clearly need to edit that, all right? So you just put your mouse over it, over the text, and you select on it. And do you notice this looks just like a normal WordPress page? Isn't that cool with all of the little edit features? So I'm going to highlight that text. I'm going to delete it. If you want tips on how to start blogging, then this is the newsletter for you. By the way, that's a terrible call to action. I hope you can do better. But we'll go with it for the sake of conversation. All right, so let's say I want to change the color of that text. Again, just select the text, highlight it. Here's your color palette. You can make it whatever color you want. You notice it's changing colors. See? You can change it to all kinds of things. I like the white. It's pretty nice. Okay, so now, since you've kind of been messing with it a little bit and playing with it, by the way, you could change this image by just selecting on it and clicking Change Image. It'll open up your media library, and you could either change the image to an image you have in your media library, or you can just upload a new image. We'll just, for the sake of conversation, make it the little MailChimp buddy. Look at that. Totally inappropriate because I don't want them to think they're subscribing to MailChimps, but for the sake of conversation, that's how it works. Now, let's go ahead and save our changes because we are still working inside of WordPress, and sometimes things, the internet goes down, something happens, right? So now the last step is to connect your email subscriber. Very simple. All you do is, until you see this red area highlighted here, once you do that, you just left mouse click, connect with service, create a new connection, API connection. Make sure you might have more than one email service for whatever reason, so make sure that you select the one. I only have MailChimp. Choose your mailing list. Now this is going to connect all of the mailing lists that you have under that MailChimp account that you associated to your Thrive account. Okay, this all happens inside your WordPress dashboard. Now, do you want double opt-in or single opt-in? That is your decision to make. I'm going to go with double opt-in. I hit save. Now it asks me a few more questions. Do you want their name? Sure. Do you want their email? Yes. Do you want your phone number? No, I don't need that. And then, do you want it to add a CAPTCHA? That's completely up to you. And do you want it to reload the current page? Or do you want to redirect it to another page after they sign up? Again, that's completely up to you. Then you hit save, click out, you save changes, and you are done. So you can close this, you can go back to your dashboard, and you have one created. And that is how you create an email pop-up with Thrive leads. I hope this helped you. And if you have any more questions about Thrive, always let me know. You can find me at Twitter at @ITeachBlogging. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Blog on.